Hey everybody, what's up? It's me, your girl, LaDosha Wright. I am back, but this time it's in the evening, and I am here to discuss, what they don't tell you at the hair salon about my new book that's coming out. So this evening we have a wonderful good conversation that's about to go down. And so the rules of engagement are, as always, to hit the heart button. That way we can let everyone out there know in the cyber world that there's a hairstylist who cares, and she is live and direct right here in Cleveland, Ohio at the Revers Design Team, located at 2062 South Taylor Road. She does take appointments at 216-321-1101. So this is how it's going down. So as you all know, it's getting close to the book release date. So I'm going to actually have a book signing, and I'm going to have a book discussion, and Miss lovely Raquel Armstrong is going to be the moderator. But today it's going to be a new type of moderation going on. I have my lovely new guest, and her name is De'Adrian. Say what's up, De'Adrian.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
All right, she kind of like Tiffany Haddish, does she? But just like whole lot cuter, whole lot cuter. I like Tiffany Haddish though. She's the bomb.
Yeah, she cool.
Yeah. So today we have a good topic about the book. It's like, why should she buy this book? Now, before we get started, we have to send a lot of prayers, a lot of love, a lot of support, and definitely more love, more light to all of the people who were unfortunately gunned down and murdered. With all this hate crime in America needs to stop. And today, when we talk about this book, some of this will get a chance to discuss, but we definitely want to send our prayers, our condolences to all of the families who have been hurt over the weekend, because America, we got some serious issues with this whole race thing. And my book is definitely, I'm being bold enough to do, Martin Luther King had a quote. He said, it comes a time when silence is just betrayal,
Oh,
so
absolutely.
sometimes, we're trained to not talk about things, especially people of color, because of fear. But you know what? We've got this new big microphone called social media, and so we could change a lot of this. So we would like to send our love, we would like to send light and a lot of prayers of comfort to all of the families who were affected, and unfortunately lost a lot of lives from hate crime. So we're going to get started with the segue that's into love. So the only way to stop this whole nonsense with all this hate is to let people know that love rules. So today, De'Adrian is here with me to say I love you. However, I don't know about this book thing you're writing. So can you tell everybody out here who's watching, as a customer, like, how did you come to find out about me? And so we're going to interview each other back and forth, but let her kick the ballistics.
Okay, so hey to everybody, all of LaDosha's viewers, and hey to all my people. I seen a couple people tuned in. What's up, Aaron, Shalamar? So basically, I was online. My hair is natural. I've had my hair natural for about 2 years now, and I've been trying to find somebody to genuinely take care of my hair, to let me know, about my type, what it is I need to use. And I go on Google. I love reviews and everything. That's how you know what's really going on, and is somebody really doing, what they supposed to be doing. So I went online, found the Reverend's Hair Design Team, and they have 5 stars. 5 stars out of like probably about 130 people, everybody. So I'm like, okay. And then I seen a thing about a microscope, and I'm like, a microscope? They put a microscope on your scalp, okay? And let you know exactly what's going on with your hair type, not, the overall, because of your skin tone and because it looks like this and it's 4A and all this stuff, which I still don't know anything about. But the science behind hair is huge, and we missing out on so much. And so when I came here, we sat here probably about a half an hour. She let me know everything, that I have Afro curly hair, because I spent all this money buying products trying to get, like, this washout look. with the natural curls and everything after I get out the shower, and it never worked. My hair would always frizz back up or, you know, fro back up, and come to find out that's how my hair is. I have curly hair, but I also have afro hair. If I didn't get on the microscope, underneath the microscope, I would have never known that. And now I know that I could stop wasting my money on all these products because I have afro hair, so I can embrace my afro.
Yay!
Afro, by the way, this is a silk press, and it looks nothing like it. It looks like I have a perm done by LaDosha. So, yeah.
Okay, so now how did you end up on the internet, like search? Because I'm old school, so I never make it a secret. This is why I wrote the book, and this is why I'm going live, because as a hairstylist, I'm gonna have to admit, and if you're a hairstylist out there, I saw a couple of y'all pop up on my feed. Do you hit that little tag? Is that how you do that?
Bring everybody on in here.
Okay, so we're learning something here. And so when I first got into the industry and found out about this whole online thing, I just thought, this is not real. Do people really go to a computer or a handheld device and look for an actual human? Because I'm used to like passing out business cards, and the beauty industry is all about the word of mouth. But today, reviews, the internet is changing the entire scope of the hair industry. So if you're a hairstylist, so just, you know, say me too, because I hope I'm not the only one.
Right, hand raise, somebody raise their hand.
But what would make you turn to a computer and not ask, like, is LaDosha, like, you know, word of mouth? I'm just trying to figure this one out.
Well, when you go on Google, it's keywords that you put in. So you type in something and a whole bunch of things pop up. So I typed in, I think, natural hair care stylist or something, and it gave me a whole list of people, as opposed to going to the phone book or, you know, whatever to find a number and call people. I can go on Google and it gives me a plethora of people to choose from.
And you didn't feel like the computer was sterile versus talking to, because I feel like, you know,
not at all. I mean,
that's
the beginning of talking to somebody, is finding out, because you get to know the summary of the story on Google when you go through the reviews, you know, because that's a big thing when you don't know anything about. You want to get opinions from other people. You want to find out, you know, hey, how was this person's experience?
See, I'm old school. Back in the day, you know, we had to refer, you know, I'm not the only hairstylist, so I was not believing. I mean, I saw the Google reviews and I was responding, but I really wasn't thinking that it was real until you came in and she was breaking this stuff down. I'm like, I think I better get with the program, because I was underestimating the power of Google.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people will either turn away or come to you based off of what other people said. Because, I mean, let's see, when you go into a store and you try something for the first time, you ask the cashier or whoever it is, have you had this before? How was it? Because you want to know somebody else's experience before you come into it. So the reviews is
I was just, you know, not that ours are fake, because these are not fake reviews, but I would honestly question, like, you know, it's like, are these real people writing? Did you have that question to see? Did you think they were real? Or
I believed it. I mean, for one, it was 100-something people, you know, so it was like, and the things that everybody was saying, it's not necessarily about the amount of views or whatever. It was what everybody was saying about you guys being warm, friendly, you know, knowledgeable. And if you get more than one person saying the same thing from different walks of life, 9 times out of 10 is the truth. So then I called her, and I was so, first of all, I was so, when they said I was gonna get my head on the microscope, I just couldn't believe that. But when I called her, she was just so knowledgeable. She just sounded so educated and knew everything she was talking about. So it was like, yes, I will be here, and I was so excited, and I haven't regretted it since. That was a couple months ago, about September, I think.
It was a few months ago. So there you have it. So now we're here. She's been coming to me for a few months, and then about a month into the situation, you know, hairstylists, we always selling something. You know, we have hair care products we're selling, you know, we have, you know, body products we're selling, and all kinds of stuff. And so then I said, I'm actually the author of a new book. would you support me in buying the book? And she was like, Like, okay, hold up, homegirl. Okay, you can do some hair really good, but I want to know about this book. So I asked her, would you have enough courage, to come with me and go live and vet me through this process? Because cosmetologists are not known for writing books on this level. We've seen some tell-all books. The famous Vidal Sassoon, Madam, sorry I kept you waiting. Thank you so much, Miss Teresa. When Teresa comes on your feed, that's week, and she the coldest. Teresa, thank you, Lord.
Okay.
And so Vidal Sassoon wrote a book, Madam, sorry I kept you waiting. So we've seen a lot of, hairstylists write some books, but not on this end. So let's get started, So she wants to know why, and before we say this, she came in the other day, and I said, I had a rep that came in, and I asked him would he support the book, and he said no. And I said, oh, okay. And he said, you're messing up the industry. You're about to do one of those expose and start talking about, the black hair salons like Good Hair and Soul Glow like Eddie Murphy and, Baps. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And so then you said, well, he had to ask you. So here she is. And she said, I want to ask you too. I have a few questions myself. So let's get started.
Yeah, so like I said, I love her. She's a great stylist and everything. But you know how it is. You kind of pull back. You came for one thing, and then all of a sudden you got this book coming out. It's like, all right, what is it about? I mean, I know you do good hair, but I really don't want to just buy it and not really know what I'm buying. $20, I mean, it's gas, I got kids, all this stuff. So I'm like, well, before I do it, because I like to support, my people. So I'm gonna ask a few questions and whatever to make sure, it's
okay.
But before I step on that, I wanted to piggyback off of what she said about how the guy said that he wasn't going to support the book. Now, I was watching this movie called Concussion. It's with Will Smith. I don't know if y'all seen it before.
I never saw it.
Okay, so it's based on a true story, and it's, long story short, it's a highly educated physician that came from Nigeria to discover why so many football players were killing themselves. And they ended up finding out it was like a brain disorder that you can't even discover until after death.
Oh.
So, long story short, he wanted to tell the NFL about what was going on, but they were afraid, because if everybody got this knowledge about what's going on with their brains, then they're not going to want to be in the NFL anymore. And it just reminded me so much of what she's doing, how she's coming out with this book to let everybody know the truth about, what goes on in the salon and what the salons aren't telling you. But it's so many people that are afraid of knowledge because of money. At the end of the day, a lot of stuff is about money. So if you're telling everybody the truth, then no one's going to want to come to the salon. It's not like that. We all need to be educated more as a people. We need to stop being afraid of education and learn more. Learn more, you achieve more. So,
all right, that was deep. How many people have ever heard of the movie Concussion? I'm going to watch it.
Yeah,
and,
it was a good movie.
I don't mind being a pioneer and being gutsy, because, like Martin Luther King said, it does come a point where silence is betrayal. And so, in the spirit of the physician who discovered something was happening, in sports that was causing sports players to commit suicide, I didn't even know that was even taking place. So, and his legacy on his shoulders, I stand to bring what they don't tell you at the hair salon. So.
Yeah. All right, so the first question I wanted to know is, will this be a book that I can understand? Being that I'm not a licensed cosmetologist, am I going to be able to read this and be like, okay, I see what she's saying?
All right, okay. Now, I just want to say, guys, this is off the script. We did not plan this out. She just said, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to have my questions ready. And so this is coming off the hip. Okay, so thank you so much, Teresa. So is this book for people who are not licensed? Is it an easy read? And the answer is 100% emphatically yes. And so what I've done with the book is that, in case you didn't know, that my background is in social work. I was an outreach worker, and my degree is in social science. So when I was in college, I'm telling you, all we did, we just observed human behavior so much. I was like, maybe I should get a new major. But anywho, that major, that degree rather, those classes started to, come into play. And so here's one of the things that I observed in the industry coming from a social scientist perspective, was that when people enter a hair salon, there's a competitive advantage between the stylist and the customer. And I don't know, I hope I'm not offending anybody, but my interpretation of me as a cosmetologist was that of a servant, that we are service providers. And so when you, like the food industry, so when you go into a restaurant, you pretty much know about a steak.
Right.
So if you want it well done, you know what well done is. If you are you're going to the gym and you want to lose 20 pounds, you pretty much know you have to, move or something.
Right.
Don't get me exercise, people. I hope I'm saying this right. But somehow you have to move and eat less to lose the weight. So there's an even understanding that's taking place. So what happened is when I first became a stylist, when I got my license, people were entering the hair salon with zero knowledge of hair. And the cosmetologists, some didn't have any, and some was up here. So there was a competitive advantage in the sense that the client was kind of competing with the stylist because it's my hair.
Right.
And how you gonna tell me about my hair?
Right.
And the stylist is like, well, you don't have your license. And so there was a competition with it's mine, and it's like, you don't have your license. And so what we do at the Reverence Design Team is we level the playing field.
Okay.
So let's get everybody on the same page. And so last week, I put every customer to the challenge to go and ask your cosmetologist, what is hair? Because that will put us all on the same playing field. And so I felt for the customer because I was bullied and picked on all my life about my hair. My uncle just popped up on the feed and he could tell you. He didn't have to be like, hey, don't mess with my niece about her hair, because I was pretty much ostracized about my hair. And so
and look at it now. Science.
And so that's what I wanted to do, was just level it and make sure we are both on the same page. And from there we can progress and we can get your hair together. So there's no reason why you shouldn't know what I know. So you can go to your doctor and say, hey, something's wrong with me. And he can acknowledge that it's your body, you live in it. Tell me what's going on. And then you both are on the same page. And so that's what this book will do. It will take that competitive advantage, it will acknowledge, it will support what the customer already knows, and it will bring insight to what they don't know. And for the cosmetologist, it will support what you already know, and what you don't know, it will bring insight. So we're going to level the playing field for all parties involved, so the conversation begins with more love than from ignorance, which breeds hate, as we see what happened over the weekend.
Oh my God. I really like everything you just said about the competition with the customer. I never thought about it like that. And a competitive thing, but for those that aren't, cosmetologists that come in to get their hair done, have y'all ever noticed when you go in that there's a nervousness? It's almost like your survival instincts kick in. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I hope they don't mess my hair up. And you almost feel timid, to talk to your stylist. And I don't feel like it should be like that, So I really like what you just said about leveling the field. So that.
And we could see that, when people come to the hair salon. That's why when you come and visit us, you have to fill out like a form, because we want people to, sit back and relax. This is an experience. Because when you come to a hair salon, you're not just paying for a hairstyle. You're making an investment in yourself. And I'm not an investor, but any investors in the house, they will all verify investing is about ROI, a return on your investment. So it's not to the benefit of any customer to just give me money for a hairstyle when they could just go buy a wig.
Exactly.
That's just my take on it, okay?
At this right
all right, there. Shanice in the house.
I hope everybody listening, don't just turn this on just to see what's going on. But I mean, really listen, because she just said some stuff. right then and there. So another thing is, what can I expect to learn from it? Can I take away hair care techniques from this?
Yes.
You know, am I going to be afraid of what I'm going to learn?
Okay. All right. Okay. Now, you know, when information is new, sometimes it's very uncomfortable because we have a place of comfort, and you know, our knowledge is attached to our feelings. So we're kind of like Erykah Badu. You know, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my, you know, so I'm a human, and so I'm sensitive about my feelings. And so knowledge can sometimes, you know, what we call challenge that feel-good area. But we know, for those of us in the holistic community, that that feel-good area that becomes challenging when you feel like, you're actually growing, okay? And so the information, it will, you know, make some people be like, I don't know about that. But then on the other token, the goal is to be very insightful. So I would say that, now this is not a spoiler alert because I've been promoting this all along. So the top 3 things that jumps out in the book that you can definitely get is, number 1, we're gonna kill the race theory. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're a cosmetologist and you keep promoting black hair, you keep promoting Puerto Rican hair, white people hair, good hair, kinky hair, nappy hair, difficult to manage hair, I'm going to tell you right now, that's racist. Okay? And so I'm going to give you the beginning, the construct. Yes, keep hitting those heart buttons. Thank you. Please, everybody, hit the heart buttons. And so I'm going to give you the, what I call the huggy lowdown on race. And my book, by the way, it's been vetted. I've had some psychologists, some psychiatrists, I've had some anthropologists. I keep saying this because they looked through the book and was like, you know, you all right. You got some more work to do, but you in the ballpark. So this is my first attempt at it. So number 1, we're going to kill the race theory. Thank you so much. Keep hitting them. So the race theory, it's got to go. America, if we want to end the type of stuff that we just saw over the weekend, if we want to end the type of hair shaming that actresses and children go through at school, if we want to end all of the stuff that happened during the civil rights movement and slavery, America needs to be honest about the construct of race. We need to eliminate it. We need to get rid of all those race programs because you're just playing into a propaganda. It's an element about classifying humans that are true, but this racism that these people are using to kill and hurt people, oh no. That's so wrong beyond any words that I can even describe. So we have to end the race theory. And since number 45 ain't got the good sense the good Lord gave him to stand up, because it's okay if he is anti-globalization. It is okay if he is pro-nationalism. We don't have a problem with that. But at some point, leaders have to do what leaders do. And that's be responsible. And so when you're responsible, you can just tell the truth. I feel this way. I believe in race, but here's the truth. It's a lie. So that's number 1. Number 2, you're definitely going to learn that healthy hair is an inside job. You are what you eat. And then last but not least, you're going to actually walk away. You can put like little tags in your book and it can tell you how to shampoo, how to comb. So it's just 3 techniques. So you're going to get some real help. You don't always have to come to a hair salon. The book is also an ebook and it's going to come to life. I can't wait to show you guys the ebook. And so, you know, number 5 is the globalist. Okay, well, I don't know what he is if he ain't, but I've seen some stuff, you know, and I'm not hating on number 45. He, you know, he all right. I got a couple of books by him, so I disagree with a lot of stuff, but he's still a child of God, you know, but he has to fess up and say, you know, and if he's got as much education, he has more education than me. by the degrees and stuff. And so he should know that the race is a construct. So I'm going to drop it right there. I don't want to upset no Trump people because I want y'all to buy my book too. Hey, Trump people. Okay, Trump people.
Politics,
Trump people got texture here too, you know.
Right,
Trump people got all kinds of hair. So we ain't going to hate on the Trump people. Y'all all right. Okay, Kanye. Okay,
yeah,
all
right.
Kanye, buy this book for your kids.
Okay, right.
Hey, Kardashian, you going to need this book for them kids too.
Right.
Okay, that's right. Only love. Kanye can buy the book. Kardashian can buy the book. Melania, you know,
And
everybody.
yeah,
Everybody
absolutely.
can buy the book. It's okay. It's okay. Some of my best friends are Republicans. And I love them. I love and they know I do. We do not, I respect them. I really do. I have never, I do not hate my friends who are Republicans. I love them and I support them and that's their prerogative. And they know it too. They don't have any problem. I'm like, okay.
Right. I mean, what can you do at the end of the day?
That's right.
But yeah, you said you were talking about the race and everything, and that just made me think about, it's not necessarily race, but it's more so people being sensitive with culture and history. So what exactly is the difference between what grandma said versus what science say?
Okay, well, I did a lot of research, and oral tradition in all cultures are very real. They're just real. But you know, every grandma, auntie, papa, we like to embellish the situations a little bit. That's number one. And then number two, unfortunately, for people of African ancestry who were enslaved. Now, we got to understand that there are a lot of Africans who came to America and were free, and that there were Africans who also had slaves, because this was a way of life back in the time.
Right.
So, but for the most part, if you came to America on that slave ship, you lost all your language. And so the stories that we've passed down from those people of African ancestry who did not get a chance to bring over their language, their culture, they're giving it from a slave narrative. And that's the sad part, that people are like, you ain't gonna tell me I'm happy to be nappy. You know, that's happy to be an N-word. You know, that's okay. I respect that. However, we just want you to know the truth behind
Then
those
you can
words.
make your own decision after you find out the truth. But I feel that's important because it reminded me of when I had the microscope consultation, and you said that I have yeast buildup and product buildup on my scalp, and that it's not dandruff. And I've gone my whole 25 since I've been going to the salon. It's been 25 years. It's about thinking that I have a dandruff problem.
She looked 15, but okay.
But,
She thought she had a dandruff problem.
Right, but thought I had a dandruff problem. But you were able to look up close and
Now,
say
did your
that it's
grandma
yeast
say you
buildup.
had it?
My grandmother, my mother,
Okay.
other hairstylists, you know, or
All right. So here we go. Now we're gonna come on with the come on, and we're gonna get down with the get down. So she said her grandmother, other hairstylists, and other people were telling her that her unclean scalp was actually dandruff. That's the slave narrative. Because they told people of African ancestry that they called black people Negroes, coloreds, niggas, you know, they told them, you have bad hair, you're nasty. Thomas Jefferson, dudes, you guys gotta look this up. When I walked into the African American Museum in Washington and I saw Thomas Jefferson, I walked out. I couldn't do it. This is just me personally. I said, oh no. Thomas Jefferson said some of the most, I'm talking about insane stuff about black women that's just ridiculous. And I know he made some children. That's over here. That's the original baby daddy. So we're gonna leave that over here. But these people convinced black Negroes, niggas, colors, people of African ancestry, whatever they wanted to label us, they convinced us that our hair was naturally nasty.
And that's why nobody does anything about it. The keeping it dirty, the fact that people say that your hair is nappy and it's kinky and it's made like this, but what you don't know, and what I love that you said, was that there's a such thing as cuticles being raised. You could either have like split ends or whatever, or your cuticles are raised. When your cuticles are raised, it causes tangling, your ends to be all crazy and stuff like that. And what you need to do is put protein in your hair. See, I learned all of this from coming to the salon. She talked to me every time I come in here.
Every time.
Protein is the second layer of your doggone hair. But nobody tells you this because they either not educated on it or they just don't want to tell you. So we're walking around with this kinky hair, with this untamed hair, because we don't know how to take care of it.
Right, and that definitely, that comes from slavery. It's no other way. There are some other
and
things.
And we embrace it because we don't know any better. And it should, and everybody has
and actually
the right to
there,
know.
in my research, we have people who wrote dissertations about this. I'm talking about, woo, like Ric Flair, woo, pretty boy, woo. I was like, woo. When I wrote this book, I cried. I'm telling you guys, I had to, call on some ancestors, because this was a painful book to write, because it's just awful, to think that type of, ignorance, that they were telling people you're naturally nasty. Nobody's naturally nasty.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense. The human body. Am I getting it? Okay. The human body naturally cleanses itself.
Right.
So if you don't wash away the debris, then you're not clean. But but that doesn't mean, the vagina is naturally self-cleansing. So you can't say, oh, well then your vagina is nasty. Well, if you don't wash it,
right,
you're gonna have a situation at hand. Your teeth. Your mouth is nasty. Well, if you don't keep it clean and floss, you're gonna have a problem. So a lot of that stuff was it came from slavery. And when you go to the doctors, I think a lot of times, a lot of doctors may struggle with, how do we tell people who are not shampooing their hair that they're, it's dirty. I think it's a hard thing to tell people you're dirty. And so they just say you have dandruff. But dandruff is a medical terminology.
Which I didn't know.
Only your doctor, only a dermatologist can diagnose dandruff. No cosmetologist can do that. Not that I know of. I ain't losing my license.
So yeah, I guess the final question that I wanted to have, it's a lot of things I want to say just about, how grateful I am that I've discovered this place, because speaking of cleanses, the body cleansing itself, before I forget, she taught me that the scalp naturally produces oil. So it's a technique to combing your hair to get all the way through the scalp, comb down, to make sure you're using your fingers, like that. You see, white people, sorry for the ones that's watching, and we gonna fix our language or whatever. I'm gonna fix my language, whatever. But you see them doing this all the time and everything, and you think it's just white people in. But no, they getting the oils through their through their hair, to make sure it get all the way down to the ends. And you don't have to oil your hair all the time. My son asked me the other day, he said, "Mommy, why is your hair so shiny and you don't put oil in it?" I said, "Oh, because when you comb it right, you gotta do this, and you gotta make sure you comb it all the way through so the oils to get through." I would have known that if I didn't have an educated stylist, telling me these things. So the final question I just wanted to ask was, for the stylist, if I was a cosmetologist, I would ask, are you bashing the cosmetologist? Should we be afraid? Should we think we're going to lose our business because of this?
It is my personal goal to bring all of America back to the hair salon.
Okay.
This is just my goal. My goal is, even though there are bills and stuff on the books, and there are laws, we have the Institute for Justice, there are groups of people who are trying to deregulate cosmetology. And it has some pros and its cons to it, but for now, the hair salons stand. And in this country and around the world, when you have education, you have credibility. Especially when your education is supported. Now, granted, the cosmetology industry needs some more education, but everybody got some stank in their poo-poo. So I put the cosmetology schools on notice, like, y'all need to get some of this stuff together. But if we don't speak up, the cosmetology schools won't do it. See, the people who write the curriculum for cosmetology, buy my book to get the truth, okay? That's what they don't tell you at the hair salon. But the book is deliberately written in such a way that people will go back to the hair salon and begin to have a new conversation that starts with them. You have to be bold to open up and say, I don't know, or to just ask a question.
Absolutely.
And so they can look in the book, the cosmetologist can look in the book if the customer said, oh, well, it says right here that my hair has 3 layers. Mm-hmm. It has a cuticle, it has a cortex, and it might have a medulla. Mm-hmm. And that the reason why my hair is tangling is because my cuticles are raised. Is that true? Mm-hmm. See, cosmetologists may have forgotten all about that. Mm-hmm. And because we're busy, we got 5 people, we have to go live, we have children, mm-hmm. and so we're not, some of us don't have vernacular and fancy vocabulary. They don't want to write a book, so I wrote it for them. I wrote the book for all my licensed professionals so that they can say, yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know that part, but yeah, there are 3 layers and okay, well yeah, let's try it. And so now you're with the right people getting the right information. I'm not knocking YouTube. I'm not knocking these go lives. I think they're mm-hmm. wonderful. But to be honest, you need to go in and see a licensed cosmetologist who has the information. Right. Now we do understand that there are some good ones, there are some bad ones, but we're only talking about the good ones. Mm-hmm. Okay, so for those cosmetologists who care, this book will replace you going to the magazine. Right.
And if it's like that, you know, which I believe it, I don't think you're making anything up, that's going to bring cosmetologists more clients, or at least loyal clients, because nobody want to keep going back to a place where they don't feel comfortable, they don't feel like their cosmetologist was educated, and we can just go find someone else to do it. So
and because the cosmetologist may not, like I said, she may not know as much, or mm-hmm. maybe have forgotten, because it's there, but they're just not talking about it all the time. Mm-hmm. Because after all, you are coming to look cute. You know, like, girl, I'm trying to, the dose of treasure. I get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl, I ain't about to use them big, you know, just hold the head over this way. Okay. But there do come a time when you have a question and we go to Google for the answer. Mm-hmm. Or we go to a magazine for the answer. But there are cosmetologists who actually call other cosmetologists up and say, can you help me? I call Greg Gilmore. I call Chris Blue. I call Stefano. I call Lucio. I call Keith Davis. I call Rachel. I call these people up and say, I messed up, or I don't know what I'm doing. And so, but everybody don't have that line of resources that they could just push and call right there on the spot. Mm-hmm. So, and some people are not as talkative as I am. Mm-hmm. And so this book will help those licensed cosmetologists who don't have a connect. It will help those licensed cosmetologists who may not have the vocabulary, who may not want to talk, who are not talkative people, mm-hmm. who are tired of the customers asking the same questions over and over. And I keep telling you, read that book. That's what this book is for. So this book will help and support licensed cosmetologists and barbers. Okay. And barbers. Okay. So all my barbers in the house?
Right.
I got you.
Not gender specific.
I got you. Okay. So you think we got it all?
I think so. You answered a lot, and I am more excited now than ever to get the book.
Ooh, there it is. Okay.
Wait, that was for me, but I smacked it anyway. So
there's the book, right? You see, I put some other books up there.
Look, see, it wasn't for me.
Yeah,
but it's okay.
So the book is going to be available Monday, November the 5th. Is the book signing here at the Reverence Design Team Hair Salon. Again, Raquel Armstrong will moderate. We will have this type of conversation. We'll have a couple of snacks. We're going to go live and invite the world in. And let's make history. Let's do like the physician did for the NFL. And what's the name of the movie?
Concussion.
Concussion.
Yes, that's
Go
what
ahead,
it was.
say it.
I was just going to say that was history. When one person knows something, you never know how many people are or aren't thinking of something. So if it's on your heart to do it, get it done. And, you know, success will follow, I believe, because you can't stop anything that God put in motion. And it's just time that we all know about our hair, you know, and everybody come together and we just get stronger.
That's what love is. Yeah,
loyalty.
See, we didn't even plan it. We said love at the same time.
Right, you know.
So we're going to end this note on love. You know, we love you guys. I thank you in advance for your support. Please share the video so we can invite America Ann to have a new conversation about hair. It is time to talk. Let's end this whole racism thing. Let's walk the elephant out the room. Let's just be loving people. That's all the book is all about. It's love. It's about what I say, peace, love, and hair.
Hey, I like it.
All right, thanks guys so much. See you later. We're signing off. Bye. Get your hair.
That's my favorite thing.
Whip your hair back and forth.
Hold on, wait.
Whip your hair. So you can do, Alan. When she come back, we're gonna show you the afro too, because she got a nice, she got a serious fro. You can do all types of stuff, all right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, bye guys. This is cool. Thanks so much.